Hello, people. Welcome to the Fantasy Fair. The what is it? Oh, that is right. The most magical podcast on earth. Joining me on this panel, I have Alexys Moreno. How are you doing, Alexis?
I'm good.
We also have Alexis Soto. What's up, my man?
Yeah, COVID-19. People are dead. What do you expect?
Wow. Way to bring this episode down. Peter Martinez, how are you?
Jola.
Don't know what that okay, let's go on. This episode of the Fantasy Fair, we are going to be ranking Disney princess films.
I just remember not laughing.
Oh my god.
What is she laughing at?
My pronunciation.
Ulani. Yeah. Who says it like that? Come on. It's Alani, not Ulan.
I'm sorry.
I have to say, I think it's disgusting how they laugh at your accent. I know English is your second language. You came here when you were, not that young, and you had to work hard to learn the language, and I think it's disgusting the way they laugh at your accent.
Kyle was born in the States. Peter.
The people listening don't know that.
We're off to a great start already.
This is already off the rails, man. Wow.
This is what quarantine does.
Well, I'm tempted to start all over.
So we're doing Disney princesses, right?
Disney princesses. We're gonna rank them. Usual bullshit with all the ranking rules.
But we're not ranking them. We're ranking their films.
I would defer to Moreno to explain to the audience what's happening, because she seems to have it down the best. Go, Alexis.
Oh, yay.
Unless she laughs.
Ulani. Oh my god.
Basically, we're gonna be doing the official Disney princesses, and some of us here are adding some to that list though, because we feel strongly that they should be included. But yeah, that's basically what's happening.
Princess Leia, baby.
No.
Let's go.
No, it's not a Disney film.
Mia.
It's not a Disney film.
Mia Thermopolis.
It's not a Disney film.
We're doing Disney animated movies.
Disney animated features. Otherwise, if you want to hit live action, then I need more time.
Let me just be clearer than that. So the base list that everybody is operating under is a list of 14 movies, right? And then the 14 films of the list that most fans would consider princess films. This is just an aggregated down list, right? The movies that were in this list were Little Mermaid, Tangled, Frozen and Frozen 2, Pocahontas, Brave, Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Moana, Mulan, and The Princess and the Frog. And then the way that it works is for anybody who wants to add different movies who they consider the characters to be Disney princesses or princesses, then they can add to that list of 14 films. And some of us have like one or two more. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly we're going to just base it on like the merit of like the film, but the contributing factor is like the strength of the princess in question within the movie. So it's just going to be...
It's very confusing.
Just going to be a checks and balances kind of thing with that going on. So we decided to go alphabetical order. So I'm up first, and then up next will be Peter, then up next will be Moreno, and then up next will be Alexis Soto.
I think we're done after that.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
All right. So let's get started with the list, and we'll take it from there. So my number 16 is Pocahontas.
Wow.
Damn.
Womp womp.
You
Alexis,
really hate America, don't
Alexis,
you?
I only just want to tell you something. you better get ready because Pocahontas is gonna get savaged.
Yeah.
Savage.
Whoa.
Wrong
Phrasing.
word of phrasing. Yeah.
Phrasing there.
That wasn't an accident. It wasn't an accident because what some people on this panel are gonna do that movie. I think savage is the right word for it.
Whoa, still no. Okay, and also, Peter, to reiterate what you said, I don't hate America. I hate revisionist America.
Oh,
That's every Disney movie.
Yeah, that's
that's the main difference. Okay, so Pocahontas. I don't like it. I like some of the songs. I don't like so. I just like a few of their songs, and that's it. But overall, I don't like it. It is. It's funny that everybody at the Disney HQ thought that this was going to be the big banger when really it was Lion King. But like Pocahontas, really. I think they felt like they were going to unify America and just like be like, oh, this is America, don't catch me slipping up. But it is really Peter got that reference.
No.
I
How
was
dare you.
I was watching a behind the scenes thing, and I think they actually used the words. This was to be their successor to Beauty and the Beast. Like they wanted this to not only like be nominated for Best Picture, but they thought this was going to win Best Picture. At least they hoped.
Yeah, horribly misguided on their point, because by doing that, it feels very hollow, and the message with otherwise one sequence that I think it does it really well, but the rest of the movie falls by the wayside, is Colors of the Wind. And while I like the message of that song and everything like that, it kind of negates what happens throughout the whole entire movie. You don't care about the characters, sadly enough,
Well, I mean, we'll talk about the princess. This is about the princess now.
Okay, the princess. She's okay.
Alexys Moreno is having a meltdown right now.
Pocahontas is okay. She's okay. There's not much other than like a hollow message of her trying to like say, no, we're all the same. But it kind of,
you're not usually this harsh. Like you're actually pretty cold to this movie.
But
hey, Moreno. That's what you get. All right. It's called karma.
But okay, the thing is that this isn't even my favorite. But
you know what? Up sends its regards. That's all I'm saying.
Carl Fredrickson sends his regards.
Carl Fredrickson sends his regards.
Oh my god. Are we turning into the Red Wedding?
I mean, with Peter, you probably
might as well be, right?
Ooh. Actually, well, we'll get to me soon, won't we? So go ahead.
It's okay. Moreno is probably gonna serve you a cake with your with your nephews in it. But Pocahontas, she I get what they're going for with her character, but it's just like it falls by the wayside because everything else surrounding it is hollow. The whole you can't, everybody is, one and the same. We're all human beings. Yeah, but then colonialism, comes in between the message of the movie, and it just like it screams like they're trying to say something, and I don't think white people should have made this movie at all, because it is very apologetic.
I would be very careful by saying that, Kyle, because nothing but white people have made all of the other movies.
White people have made literally all the other films.
I mean, especially Moana. I mean, all of that. I mean, yes,
Kyle, white people have made everything you love. Like, specifically you. Like James Bond, Doctor Who, literally everything.
Yeah, but here...
And you can't even use the excuse that, like, they brought in people for Moana, like, for the culture or whatever, because they did the same thing with Pocahontas.
Yeah.
But with, like, Pocahontas, I don't know. It feels very mean-spirited.
I don't.
Well, not mean-spirited, but it's just like, I don't know. There's, like, a cynical edge I could see in this movie.
Were we watching the same movie? What was cynical about the movie?
I don't think it was. I'll put it. You know how I would put it? I feel like this film would have #resistance in its bio on Twitter. Like, that's the way I would put it.
It's a neoliberal's wet dream. I think Lindsay Alice might have referred to it that way.
Okay.
It has no teeth whatsoever in what it's doing or what it's trying to say. That's
okay.
There's a lot. This honestly may be the most complicated movie in this list. It's just a lot of things to say about this one. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what I was trying to go for. But it's just, yeah, hollow and everything like that, and the princess has no personality.
I don't agree on that statement.
Well, you'll get your chance.
Okay.
We're all gonna talk about the same film.
Almost no personality, but she could sing though.
Okay, what about your other ones?
Okay, my next one is The Black Cauldron. She declared.
Hold on.
What?
Fuck you.
Why?
Because this film was like a childhood favorite of mine, and I watched it with you at Moreno's house for the first time, and all you did was bitch about the movie.
That's not true.
That's 100% true.
That's what I'm gonna say. He didn't just bitch; he fell asleep through the movie.
Yeah. I am offended.
Yeah, the audacity for you to include it on this list.
And to have it above Pocahontas.
Kyle, you're not.
Well, that was a
this
good
is
call.
pretty bad. You're really pissing everybody off.
When he fell asleep.
Princess Alonwe. She's a princess.
Now you know her name.
Now you know her name.
You fell asleep at this movie and you were laughing at it while watching it, and this ranks higher than Pocahontas.
And you left being like, okay.
You talked so much shit that night. Oh my god.
Well, I was half asleep that night, so. The Black Cauldron.
Wait, have you rewatched it since that time?
Yes, several times.
And
that's why it is on my list. I've grown, and that's what stuff is supposed to do. You're supposed to grow into things. And this movie has kind of grown on me a little bit. Not going to lie. It does some weird shit. It is unlike any other Disney princess movie or just Disney movie in general. It's just I think the Hooded King is freaking metal. And yeah,
the Horned King.
The Horned King. There you go. But
fake bitch.
I'm not even declaring myself as the #1 Black Cauldron fan. All right.
It's a good movie.
So
it's a really good movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's a really good movie.
So because it does something interesting and new, I put that above Pocahontas.
It didn't offend me, so I think that's a win somewhere, right?
Apparently it did on the other part of the panel.
Well, they're offended because you trashed the film, and they're offended that you had the audacity to now come around and say, actually, I was a fan from the start. That's the frustration that they're saying.
I didn't say that. You guys are putting words.
No, he said he watched it, and it got better in time.
It got better in time watching it. Okay?
Okay.
I'm not declaring myself like a fan of it. I'm just saying that it's grown on me a little bit.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Fuck you. That's fine.
Ulani. Oh my god.
This episode is going well for me.
I'm sorry, man.
The next
interesting list though. Interesting list so far.
The next one is Frozen. The first one.
Wow.
Just 'cause I think the sequel is better, and we'll get to that when we get to that. Peter wants to kill me.
Listeners out there are some very
he wants to break
controversial.
Peter wants to break social distancing and come to my house and slit my throat.
I mean, that's him on any normal day, really.
I'll just order a pizza later.
The jokes, man. He just came ready.
Wow.
But who would have thought that Peter would have gotten offended by Frozen?
Well, that seems to be okay. Frozen. The Frozen fever has died off, and I could definitely feel like its charm wear off over time. That's it. That's what I have to say about that.
Okay.
The next one.
What number? Did you number it?
No, I didn't. Okay. Oh.
You probably should. That way people can keep track of it.
Okay, 13. This is 13. I saw this a couple of times. I haven't sat down and watched it. I don't think since our retrospect that we did. But I think Atlantis: The Lost Empire deserves to be on the list. Can't go wrong with Cree Summer and Princess Kita. Also, I think that this is a good old-fashioned adventure film, and I like what it does with that genre and all that stuff. I mean, it feels like a movie that would have come out, like a big blockbuster movie that would have came out in the 50s or 60s. And the Atlantis: The Lost Empire definitely does something with that. Yeah, Princess Kita, I like her aura, if you will, the whole spiritual, I guess, notion that surrounds these characters and all that stuff, and she's a perfect counterbalance with Michael J. Fox's character, so I liked it. The next one, number 12, is a bear. That never gets old.
Way too high.
That never gets old.
Way too high.
Brave. I actually like this movie. I think I'm more apologetic about this movie than any of you guys. Maybe. I'm not sure. But I think Brave, I really love. You don't really see the mother-daughter dynamic anymore in films. It's usually, the father and the daughter, and that's the whole crux of the emotion and all that stuff. But no, it's a mother and daughter, and I really like the bond between them two. Even when the mom was a bear, it was still very charming and everything like that. And plus Merida, she, woman, hear me roar. Great stuff. I like her personality. She's very spunky. Yeah. She does things with her character, and I like it. The next one, number 11, Frozen 2. Okay, the Alexys Moreno looked at me like she swallowed a fly or something like that. Okay, let me explain.
You just need to stop disappointing us tonight. That's all we ask.
You're being me tonight.
I'm being me tonight?
Me.
Oh, you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Frozen 2. I
You
really
know what was funny about that right there? It's like Alexis is disappointed that it's too low, and Peter's disappointed that it's too high. So like, you really can't win.
Nope, I'm not gonna win with anybody on this list.
I don't think any of us are gonna like each other's list.
Well, that's usually due point for the course.
Mine is scientifically correct, so you can't even argue with it.
Really? We'll put that to the test. By the end of the show, we'll vote on whose list is best, and yours won't win.
Wait, you don't vote? You don't like scientifically decide things through voting?
Yes, we do.
Peter.
No,
Peter,
look how well
we
that
decide things by voting. Kyle, continue.
Alexis, look how well that's done for democracy. Democracy.
Oh, it's shit. It's shit. But I mean, at this point, nothing matters. So I mean,
okay. So Frozen 2. With this movie, I went into the unknown. It showed itself.
I'm done.
And I really enjoyed it. I think it does things that the first Frozen, didn't do, and excelled on the story that was built on that movie and made something better, I think. I think the music is all around better. And honestly, I think that Frozen 2, like, I think that this is what, like, Walt was talking about, like, doing something, like, kind of spiritual with the story of the Snow Queen, and you got that a little bit. You got mysterious voices in your head and everything like that. And I think that also Elsa, it really came into her own in this movie. Like, she's actually comfortable with herself, and I think that is actually a bonus, and I actually like that. Anna, she was inaugurated queen, and honestly, good for her, really good for her. These characters go into different places that I really enjoyed their journey. So Frozen 2, yeah, also charmed, I'm sure. The next one, I think it warrants mentioning just for the sheer artist.
What number?
Okay. Sorry, I didn't. I just listed all the... Okay, so yeah, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Number 10. Okay. Number 10, we have Sleeping Beauty. Mostly because okay. The thing about this movie is that, like, Aurora is not my favorite Disney princess by any means or stretch of the imagination, but the movie surrounding her is just amazing. And like, from the artistry, from the colors that they use in the movie, from the the wide scope painting that Disney didn't do much, they did it in this movie, and you could see the money was on the screen, because every cent you could see with the paintings and just like the scenery. And also Maleficent is deliciously evil. The whole dragon battle at the end of the movie is just a great climax. I like the fairies. The fairies are actually really nice. However, Aurora doesn't have much of a personality, and I think that knocks it down a little bit. The only time you see a little inkling of that is like, oh, we've met before, have we? Kind of thing. And that's a little spark of something, but really it's just her. She pricks her finger on a spindle of a spinning wheel and falls asleep, and that's her. She's MIA throughout the whole thing, or at least the climax of the movie. But yeah, half of it is really, really stunning. The rest is just on the princess part. So Sleeping Beauty. The next one is Cinderella for number 9. It's a classic, honestly. I think Cinderella, like, she's stuck in a bad position. She's lived her entire life like this. She doesn't know any better, until she realizes that there's life. There's life beyond on her brushes and stuff like that. So, and I think that this is really like kind of like a tale as old as time kind of thing. It's been told a million times, but yet like every time I watch it, it's just like breathtakingly gorgeous. Just the animation that they put with it, and Cinderella, like, you know, she does have a personality. You know, she's like, you know, oh, you know, that darn old clock, you know, such a killjoy, and you could tell that, you know, she just deals with all this bullshit, you know, and that I think that is I think that lends her to having a personality. The next one is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs for number 8. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's the first of its kind, really. It pretty much set sail the whole entire animation genre. And I think Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs does exactly that. Jokes have been made about Snow White's, you know, ditziness and everything like that, especially with her voice and the way that she would, like, you know, oh, with a smile in his eye. You know, everybody's made fun of it, yes, but again, she's really kind of like a child in this one, and she's just like, she's very naive and everything like that, and you get that, so you kind of sympathize with her character as well. She yeah, and also like the rest of the movie is iconic as well. You have the Seven Dwarves. I mean, iconic is not even scratching the surface when it comes to describing this movie. The evil queen is just downright like maliciously evil, and you absolutely love it. She's the first Disney villain. You know, you got a lot of firsts in this movie. Time out.
Keep going. I have to take my dog out.
Okay.
But keep going.
Okay. Yeah, so iconic is not even scratching the surface. You have Hi Ho, you know, and all these other songs that are there. I'm wishing for the one of love, you know, and you have all these other songs that are in addition to a fine, iconic film. And honestly, like, without this movie, I mean, this movie walked so the other ones could run, you know. Some didn't run as well as others, but nevertheless, this movie set the standard of what these kind of movies would be moving forward. My next one for number 7 is Tangled. Tangled, I really love. It is honestly, like, if I were to, yes.
So it's better than Snow White, Frozen.
Yeah.
All those. Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm more emotionally invested with these characters. I like Flynn Rider. I like Rapunzel, and you just honestly, like, I think that they're probably the best. One of the best. Well, okay, scratch that. But I do think that they're a really good Disney couple in what they do. They have the best duet song in Disney, I think, with I See the Light. That whole sequence is just downright gorgeous. I cry because, like, it just, I don't know, you get the feeling, because like I said before, you're emotionally invested in these characters, and it's just them kind of being in denial with their feelings, but just like them being comforted by one another. And that's where I See the Light really comes through. And great Disney villain with Mother Gothel. I really like her and her song and everything like that. The rest of the movie is funny. I Have a Dream sequence is really hilarious. Like the way that these villains, they have like the most like deepest, darkest like crimes against humanity, but then they, one wants to be a florist, one wants to be a concert pianist, and just like these charming little ditties that they put through. And honestly, Tangled is all around good time. I really love it. Number 6, Aladdin. I think this is just a downright fun movie to me. I think that you have, the genie and everything like that. Also, you kind of have like the first kind of like empowering. I'm putting it in quotations because it very represents the time that it's in. A very empowering princess, with her like not wanting to be a prize to be won and everything like that. And you got that with Princess Jasmine, and you got something like that. Somebody who used sexuality as a not a weapon, but like a ploy to like assist. And I'm gonna use it as a weapon. Because like it, like without that distraction, like Aladdin wouldn't have done his thing and everything like that. So she used that, and honestly, with that being said, I think that she excels with the other Disney princesses a little bit. Also, I think just all around, Aladdin is like it's part of the big four. Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Aladdin. It's there. The Little Mermaid. Everything is there, and it's part of the big four, and it's part of the big four for a reason. It is top-notch quality. The songs are all there. And also like to counteract, the prince is also it's called Aladdin. And the prince is entertaining, the villain is entertaining, the henchmen are entertaining. It's just an all-around good film. Can't go wrong with it. My number 5, let's go under the sea with this one, with The Little Mermaid. It's a little low for some people's tastes.
No, I was just commenting on the puns.
Me and Alexis were just like
the puns can go fuck themselves. I mean,
yeah.
but that should go without say. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. They can go fuck themselves, along with other comments that were just made in the last 30 seconds. But I see you, Alexis. I see you.
Wow. Okay. I'm trying to. I'm really under it this time. Okay. The Little Mermaid. All right. Ariel isn't bad. She's just. It came from. I don't know. I
could throw a brick right now. I don't know why.
I know.
I could literally just throw a brick right now.
I know both of you Alexis's, wanna hurl something at me. But Ariel isn't bad. She's just misguided and
drawn that way. Sorry.
And horribly naive.
Never mind.
There are other avenues to achieve your goals, and by meeting a sea witch, I don't think that was the right route.
I'd like to take the opportunity right now to plug our audio commentary for The Little Mermaid featuring Alexys Moreno and I.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was a fantastic conversation. No propaganda there.
I wasn't invited.
You never are.
The Little Mermaid. The rest of the movie is gorgeous, though. Holy shit. Under the Sea. Her song is one of my favorite songs. in the Disney pantheon of music and the library and everything like that. It's such a shame that she only had one song, but when she has that one song, it freaking ran. I think that this is like in terms like lyrically and everything like that. That was I think that that's Howard Ashman's crowning jewel, and that's coming from a Little Shop of Horrors fan. Um, I think this is easily one of the best animated films of all time. With that being said, because it is a story that doesn't get old. It just doesn't. Despite what my personal feelings are, the whole movie
and despite not really understanding what those personal feelings may be,
it's timeless. It is the last movie to be traditionally animated in this way. Like they didn't incorporate any of the CG panning that they did in Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Lion King. So it's really the last of its kind. It used traditional animated cells, and you could see the creases and crevices and the blemishes of that, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love when I see a little film stock in your film, and this is like kind of that equivalent. I love when it opens with a sea shanty and it takes you all the way into this journey that I think is just illustrious, and I love the artistry that goes behind this movie. So The Little Mermaid is number 5. My number 4 is Mulan. I think Mulan, this is like the complete reversal of what Ariel does. Where Ariel, again, oh, she's not here. Okay, so Ariel comes at her motives very selfishly, and I think Mulan is the complete opposite, where she just wants to help out, and I think that like boosts her like tenfold. Mulan, I think she is a downright hero. It is unfortunate of the times that she lived in, and still today China is very backwards thinking in what it does and says and everything like that. But like what she does to honestly just do the right thing is honestly very admirable. That I think Mulan really exceeds with that. Also, the rest of the movie is downright great. Nothing you can't beat. I'll make a man out of you. You just can't. Reflection is a really good song, gorgeously made, gorgeously sung by Leah Salonga. It's just a great little balance of like things, and this is a perfect movie to tail end your Disney Renaissance with.
It wasn't the official end of it though.
It's not
It wasn't the end.
Wasn't Tarzan the end of it?
Yeah.
But in terms of like the legacy that it made in like the Disney Renaissance with Disney princesses, I think that it's a good way to end.
Well, we can also make an argument with Tarzan now, can't we?
No.
Alexis, did you hear how this slime trashed Ariel even further? You were out of the room when he said this, but he basically used Ariel as a foil to Mulan. He basically said that Mulan is the very reason why I hate Ariel.
No.
As the complete polar opposite.
I didn't say
know,
that.
Right?
I have a question. Mulan isn't your number 1?
Because we're basing on both merits, right? The film.
I mean, that's a bit racist, isn't it, of you, Alexis, to ask that question?
No.
Okay.
This is why I said we probably should have picked 1.
Because we're basing like the merits of both the film and the princess. So, yeah.
I'd say it doesn't fucking matter. So, just to be clear.
All right. So, Next up, we have on number 3, Princess and the Frog. I love this movie. What?
No, continue.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm not. I'm playing with my piggy.
Oh, that's what they're calling it these days. Okay. So Princess and the Frog, I think, is a really, really, really good movie. Great movie. I think that this movie could have easily fit in with what was made in the 90s. Just from its quality standpoint, and Princess and the Frog, I think, does that. I think that this is just can't go wrong. Tiana, also very admirable, hard worker.
Admirable.
Works hard to get where she's at, and
they have like 5 songs about that.
Yeah. And her and Prince Naveen are good counterbalances with each other. I like how she doesn't take any of his bullshit, and that's nice. The music is really good. The villain with Dr. Facilier is, I think, really good. Get some of that voodoo.
But why do you think this is higher than all the others?
I think that this is higher than the others is because the story that it's trying to tell is very refreshing. Because like versus much like Mulan, and much like some other Disney princesses, she's not motivated by a dude. Or like there's nothing.
Wow. I will burn. Oh my god.
There's nothing surrounding the prince being her main motive of anything.
I, for one, think it's perfectly okay for women to be motivated romantically,
But Princess and the Frog, I think does that, and like its tale of like work hard and you will that's where your happily ever after will lie. It's very realistic, I think, and Princess and the Frog tells that story, and I think it's like a modern day fairy tale that I think that kids can look up to, with not only I feel like I don't know, I feel like I'm put in the hot seat right now. Princess and the Frog, charming as well. I think I think the animation, I feel, what, you guys look like you want to say something. No?
I'm waiting for my list.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of us have already tuned you out.
Okay.
We've already tuned it out. I mean, it's.
I'm interested to see what because your list completely went the total opposite of what I thought it was.
Yeah, it's kind of like a total shit show, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's crap. It's crap.
It's not crap. It's just not what I thought you would be choosing.
She doesn't want to be mean.
No.
But, let's be real.
Okay. Moana is number 2. What? Why are you laughing?
Oh my god.
Oh god, that killed me.
Okay.
Kyle, thank you so much for turning Moana and thank you for turning that movie into a punchline. Oh my god, I just keep thinking of what Peter said. I'm sorry, my movies don't speak broke from a few weeks ago. Oh god.
Continue.
I like it. Number 1 is Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. I was pissed off when I saw the movie for a reason. A damn good.
Wait a minute. Wait, did we just skip past Moana? What happened?
He liked it. That's good enough for me.
Okay.
I don't think anything else is gonna warrant a conversation coming out of Moana. Apparently.
How dare you, sir? I love that movie. What do you mean nothing else warrants the conversation?
Apparently you guys don't speak broke.
Oh my god, he's getting his gun. It finally happened.
Well, okay.
No, he's coming back.
So, I think so Beauty and the Beast, it's classic. It's a great tale. Belle, she book smarts. She has her book smarts. She's clever. She ain't cut from the same cloth as the rest of the town. She's a outsider. But the thing is that because of that, she just don't give a shit. She's just like, I'm gonna read my book. Fuck you all. I'm just gonna do my thing. And that's what she does. And I like how unabashedly herself she is throughout the whole thing. She isn't afraid to tell off, the beast that, he's being a complete asshole. And I think that makes her a really, really strong character. Plus the rest of the story is just like, especially growing up in a small town, we know a couple of people like the characters in this town. And honestly, this is where the movie, I think, like, excels for me. It is, I think, like, the way that it speaks about, like, the cult personality with Gaston and everything like that is just, I think it's good. I think it's really good. The rest of the characters, like Cogsworth, Lumiere, and everything like that is really good too. Their characters, I think it really, like, you needed somebody, a cast of characters that is as strong as your main character, which is Belle, and they did that really well. And honestly, like, she wasn't motivated by by the dude. She was motivated by saving her dad.
Somebody here is a really like killjoy when it comes to romance. I mean, not motivated by a dude. Okay.
I guess women aren't allowed to be in love now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
They are.
Oh, you're allowing them?
But
who made you decide what they're allowed to do and not to do?
Okay, I seem to have lost everybody on this panel. Peter Martinez, go.
Okay, run down your list real quick from the bottom up.
16, Pocahontas. 15, The Black Cauldron. Number 14, Frozen. Number 13, Atlantis, The Lost Empire. Number 12, Brave. Number 11, Frozen 2. Number 10, Sleeping Beauty. Number 9, Cinderella. Number 8, Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Number 7, Tangled. Number 6, Aladdin. Number 5, The Little Mermaid. Number 4, Mulan. Number 3, Princess and the Frog. Number 2, Moana. And number 1, Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
Alexis, can I ask you though, because you seemed the most surprised. What about this list just threw a curveball at you?
I thought, Moana didn't really surprise me. I thought Mulan was going to be number 1. Yeah. That was like more, but that was like the main thing that I was like, what? Like, once he got to the Little Mermaid, I didn't really know what was gonna happen.
Okay. Yeah. Peter, go on with your list.
Okay. The way I did my list was like it was like 30% movie, 70% the character, because there is gonna be some pretty wild ones in mine. Even more so I feel than Kyle's. But yeah. So let's start at the bottom. 15, Frozen 2. I don't like this movie. I
Really?
just don't. Yeah, really.
I couldn't tell.
I don't like what they did specifically with Elsa and Anna. But I feel like they kind of betrayed at least specifically Elsa's character.
How?
Why ask that?
I want to know.
That'll do
like,
no
that's
good
so
by asking
interesting to
how.
me because I feel like everybody else is like, no, like that's why we love this one because it, like everything that she does, it makes sense for her character. So it's like I don't get, like I want to understand where he's coming from.
Well, okay. So like to me, the first Frozen. A lot of people, the reason why people wanted like Elsa to be like this gay icon is because her story very much mirrored like being gay, at least maybe in the United States, where it's like as a child it manifests, your parents are like, we'll just hide it, fight it back, maybe don't put you around people so people don't find out, and you kind of have this like level of self-hatred, and then eventually you just try to run away from everyone and you're free and you feel free, but the reality is like you can't run away from who you are, and it's more about the lesson is kind of like accepting yourself and your family finding acceptance in you, and not and yeah, it's sort of that. And I feel like with the second one, it was kind of like, well, no, you actually don't belong here at all, and you really aren't supposed to be here with all the regular people. You really are separate but equal kind of bullshit. And I didn't like it. Especially when Disney would go so far as to home milk the gay icon thing, but just not have the balls to actually go there with her. So it really rubs me the wrong way.
Okay. I mean, I don't agree, but I understand.
Alexis?
No comment.
Okay.
List.
Okay. Brave. Her mother's a bear. This film, well, specifically because 70% of the character, I'm going to talk most about the character, but as the film, it's just so blah to me. Like I feel like I've seen it twice, and I don't remember like half of what happens in the film, even though I've seen it twice, and it's just, I feel like nothing happens in the film. But particularly the character of Merida, she's spunky and she wants to like not be the princess. Like I get it. I just don't think it's explored to its fullest extent. It just, the whole film and also specifically her character comes across as kind of milk toast. It's like she starts out as that like archetype, and then it's like, okay, yeah, but then nothing happens. So yeah. That's why I put Brave 14. 13, Pocahontas. I do not like the movie Pocahontas, and if we were going strictly on the film, it would probably be second to last, if not dead last. I do not like Pocahontas. It's boring.
Might I just add?
Yes,
that's
okay.
what Alexis had said, but then he watched it, and he was like, what? Like, we had a whole conversation about it.
Is this true?
I guess
Were
you'll
you
find
converted?
out.
Oh, okay, I guess I'll find out.
Oh,
Converted.
good God.
Okay. Oh no.
This is what happens when I give him the keys for like a month.
This is, yeah, I agree. It's your fault. You let him ride the Disney train, and now he's getting all these kinds of bad ideas. Like Pocahontas is a good film.
Gotten to my list yet. So
Yeah, I'm not saying that he like loves it. Maybe he doesn't, but like I feel like you found a new appreciation for it.
That's a different thing than like, oh yeah, it's my favorite, and I'm converted now to the altar of Pocahontas. That's not exactly how I would describe it.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we will.
We'll definitely find out. But like Pocahontas as a character, like for the film itself, I don't even think the music is that good.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to laugh.
You don't like Colors of the Wind?
That's it. When everyone talks about that film, that's the one they bring up.
Or Just Around the River Bend?
I find the music to be
You just have to understand, this man has gone on record several times as not liking music, so just take that for what you will.
I'm just, okay, I don't know how to explain it. I love music, but I'm not like
That's
one of these people.
literally the opposite of what you said last time.
Okay, I'm elaborating, okay? Let me elaborate, okay?
It sounds like you're flip-flopping there, because when you say I love music, that's the opposite of saying I don't really like music.
Hold on, Chris Cuomo, okay?
Excuse me, Hillary Clinton? I mean, you're just in the middle of a flip-flop right there.
First of all, Chris Cuomo would never give Hillary Clinton a tough interview, so don't you dare go there. Second of all, there is a difference between a flip-flop and
you really just called me Chris Cuomo?
An elaboration.
Damn.
Yes, I did. In an elaboration. My thing is, like, just I feel like everyone I've ever known is like they're really into like bands specifically and types of music, and they ask me like, "Oh, what kind of music do you listen to?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know, like music. Like I don't think about it, you know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's a music screw.
You
But
don't
you're not
do
into
a
music
hipster
then.
and don't add labels, right?
Then you don't. Then you're not into music since you
No,
can't.
but
you
I do listen to music.
But do
and
you
I do
like?
enjoy music?
Do you have like
but
favorite
it's
artists?
Not like this.
Do you have favorite songs? What kind of music do you like the most? Like you can't answer those questions.
No, I can't. I don't think that.
Then you
far.
don't like music.
But
It's as simple as that.
It's
Okay,
It's complicated.
Okay, here's the thing. He appreciates the sounds of the words, which I guess is the very rudimentary nature of listening to music. Like he doesn't put labels to it. I get you, Peter.
If anything, I'm like the most real one here. No labels. Okay. Fuck you all. Yeah, I'm just Pocahontas. Not into it. It's funny that Kyle, you mentioned this, how everyone was like, this is gonna be the big thing, because to me Pocahontas feels like Disney on autopilot. Like I just don't feel it at all.
That says so much about the production going into the movie, because like
It says so much about the attitude of the company. I'll just say that,
because they put the A and B team of animators and filmmakers to work on this movie, and there
were people who were literally jumping off of Lion King to run to this movie.
Yeah, there was the C and D, all the way to Z team working on Lion King, that nobody.
Maybe it was too many cooks in the kitchen type thing, and like the Lion King had less people, so they were able to focus in on what they wanted to do.
But I mean, that not to. To cancel out, all of it, the animation is stunning, though. People really did draw this movie.
It's like a very serious movie, and like compared to The Lion King, like you will have Timon and Pumbaa, who are such like huge comic reliefs, and like that like very lighthearted moment with Hakuna Matata. So I think that's what kind of like, at least if you're comparing the two, like that's what messed it up.
Well, I think the ultimate thing about this movie is that it tried to please too many people and tried to please everybody, and then it pleased nobody, because you're really just going for it's kind of like Rise of Skywalker in the sense that you think you're doing what everybody wants you to do, but then no one's happy with it.
Oh, how'd you know my number 13 or 12? Rise of Skywalker. Princess Palpatine herself. This film, no. But yeah, that's Pocahontas. My next one is Sleeping Beauty. What's her name?
Aurora. Princess Aurora.
That's right. Okay. See, that should tell you something. Aurora is fine. Like, when I think of Aurora, I think of a blank slate, sort of. And I get it, she goes to sleep, but like, and especially at this time, that there wasn't much personality put into these.
It's hard. I want to say, I should have said this at the top, but I think I speak for all of us when I say it's challenging and almost it feels unfair when you're comparing films that were made in the 30s, 40s, and 50s to films that are made right now in the 2010s. It's difficult because back then there were just different expectations, different times for what these films were expected of.
As far as a film, I like the interesting animation, and of course, you know, big dragons are fun. It was never one of my favorites growing up. I like the more of the weirder ones, like the Black Cauldron and shit like that. But you know, it had a dragon, so it'd bring me back in at the end. Yeah, funny enough, if it was solely on the princesses, this would be dead last. But like the 30% that I consider the movie helps it rise above some of the others. So yeah, that's Sleeping Beauty. Number 11 is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, I actually do like. This is one I would watch a lot as a kid. I did like it. Maybe it was the dwarves because they're funny.
They are.
And Snow White, she actually does have a bit of a personality. It's, I don't know if it's the best personality.
I mean, she's a mother. Well, I mean, she acts like a mother, basically. To these dwarves.
But as a kid, I just remember a lot of screaming, like, "Oh no!"
Well, it's like, again, right? I mean, I know you know this, but for people who are listening, it's like, and because Kyle mentioned it before about, you know, the very high pitched sound of Snow White's voice, like at that time. I
actually like the voice; it gives her personality.
But at
like
that
I remember her voice,
right, and I agree with you. But at that time, that voice was like considered to be like elegant or something like special, or like that was how.
Well, it's like
the 30s, right?
It's like at the time you had like your Betty Boops and all that stuff.
Yeah,
You had that kind of I guess version of an animated woman, you know.
I'm Betty Boop. I actually have no idea how that voice goes. I can't do it. But
it's that voice, but with like a New York accent.
Yeah, I cannot do accents. But yeah,
the furthest you go is bear.
She's a bear. That's not true. This is a girl.
Oh, you do French. You do the French accent too. Sacre bleu.
Paris. French accent is the best. But yeah, like I actually really like Snow White. And as a character, kind of mixed on Snow White herself. But I do end up liking her, and that's why she's at number 11. Number 10, top 10, Frozen, the original live action remake. Sorry, that's 2025. I actually really like the original Frozen. I liked it. I really liked it too when it first came out. I liked the songs. Elsa and Anna, I like them here too. They're a little, I don't know. I'm not as enamored with them as everyone else is, like the whole world. Like it was Elsa and Anna mania after this film came out.
Yeah.
And it's I like them, but...
To say mania is a bit of an understatement because like this movie was fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
It's a phenomenon, really, at that point.
it really was.
Like, I was talking with I don't know if you were part of the discussion, but one of our previous podcasts is I talked about like how Let It Go was on Power 98. Like
that's funny.
the Idina Menzel version. And I was like, what the fuck? They're playing soundtrack music. Okay, we're in this now.
I can't blame them. That Demi Lovato version really killed the song, didn't it? I mean, damn.
Whoa. You hating on Demi? Don't go there.
They always hating on Demi.
No, I'm not. Just that song.
Haters.
Just that song.
Haters. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, Frozen. Frozen, yeah, it's 10. I do really like the movie, but I'm not in love with the movie, and I do really like Elsa and Anna, but I'm not in love with them as far as characters go, but they do bring a lot of good stuff. Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Nice emotional song. Like, yeah.
Surprisingly, like it starts off cute,
yeah,
you know, and everything like that, but then it gets like really dark.
Next one is Cinderella. Cinderella. This is also another one that I did watch a lot as a kid. And I do really like it. The mice I always thought were funny. The cat, you know, how did they talk?
Jack, and Gus.
Yeah.
And the cat's name is Lucifer.
Gus. Yeah. Oh, isn't that great that you just went there with it? Like the stepmother she was like Lucifer. Like they would do that shit where they would like open the door and like the shade, but her eyes would light up.
Oh, the way that she was in like that shot of like her in the deep set bed and just like her deep in it, and just like the only thing you see is the eyes. It's just really good.
Where's my breakfast, Cinderella? You know, all that shit. All great. And Cinderella, she's really cool. I think they actually do give her good personality and character wise. You end up, I think she's one of the main out of the old ones, like so far, like Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, and Cinderella. I think Cinderella is easily the best. But yeah, as far as the character specifically, but maybe the film as well. That was number 9. Number 8, Tangled. I really like Tangled. I agree with you, Kyle. I really love the song. Rapunzel is really awesome, I think, as a character. Like, just as the film starts out, her song about everything that she does every day, I think it's very relatable, especially in today's day and age. It's like, I did everything and it's 10:15. What do I do now? Yeah.
Today.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, I'm just waiting for my life to begin too. But no, like the Rapunzel character, I think is really awesome.
Also, to like counterbalance with her character, you throw in Flynn Rider as well, and
they play off each other really well.
Yeah. Also, it kind of helped because Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi recorded together, so I think that added like a level of chemistry and depth that I think really helped as well. So yeah, you're number 7.
Okay, we're starting to get controversial now. Aladdin.
Okay.
I like Aladdin. I'm not in love with Aladdin the way everyone else is. This, I saw it as a kid, but it was never like my film specifically. It wasn't the one that I would like watch ad nauseum, or even one of the few that were like in rotation a lot. And it like Jasmine specifically, she's okay. The film I feel holds this one up a lot more. Jasmine, she's cool. She's got a tiger. Like, come on, now that's pretty cool.
Shout out to Raja.
She was Joe Exotic before Joe Exotic.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that, by the way, Peter?
Me? Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Question: did she?
Oh no.
Okay. Before little slight tangent. Do you think she fed him to the tiger?
I don't know. I'm not a forensics.
Well, it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, Alexis, but wasn't Jasmine, and again, not counting Belle because she wasn't a princess by birthright, but wasn't Jasmine the first like Disney princess where she just flat out refused to be like shacked up with someone against her will, or in the sense that she was expected.
She
of it.
didn't. Yeah, she didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's obviously adds to like her coolness factor. So yeah, that's why she's at number 7. Number 6, Moana. Despite this film making 2 pennies, I really, really like Moana. You can even go all the way back. You go all the way back to our initial review.
When we did it onto the table, I was actually...
No, I'm talking about the After Dark.
Oh, not the To the Table, the After Dark, yes. And then I was like completely like enamored with the fact that both of you and I agreed on a movie.
Yeah, I really liked it.
As did I. We were all in agreement. We walked out of that theater thinking to ourselves, "Wow, that was pretty great."
Yeah, and I still feel that way. And I really like the character of Moana. Headstrong. She's got tough decisions she's got to make, but she goes ahead and does them. I think she's real cool. So yeah,
she's kind of she's kind of like a millennial talking to a Gen Z, Gen Xer.
God.
Like, we got to go, and do something different, a drastic change, and change our lifestyle. And the Gen Xer is like, no, we must not do that. It is very very relatable to our age group, I think.
Yeah. That I feel like every film is like that, but yeah, specifically this one. Well, like these kinds of films, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5. This one's a doozy. Atlantis, The Lost Empire.
You really love this one.
Yeah. I know I'm gonna get shit for this, but like, I was the kind of kid. The 2000s were kind of popping a little bit more for me than even the 90s. Like, I would watch Treasure Planet and Atlantis more than Lion King or Aladdin. Like,
because you don't like music. I mean that just explains it. There's just more proof.
I don't know, maybe.
Also,
I mean,
also you could kind of like get the sense of like your age group versus our age group. Yeah, we are we are just a year off from each other.
mm-hmm.
But I could definitely see like the era that you grew up in versus the era that we grew up in, and it's just like you could, even though that there's a year difference, you could.
It makes a difference.
It makes a damn difference.
And there's the song in Treasure Planet. All right, don't do
It is. Honestly,
yeah.
I'm gonna be like 100% honest. I've maybe seen this movie like once or twice.
Yeah, I know. Let me tell you something. I know.
But
okay?
I've seen
know.
Treasure Planet is one of my favorite movies. So
Okay. I know that's an unpopular opinion, and I wear that badge of honor on my sleeve.
As of recently, no. Like, Atlantis has gotten like even more so than with Treasure Planet. Atlantis has gotten like a huge like following now.
Well, like, I literally just finished watching that film, and I gotta say, as the kids' lingo goes, that shit still slaps. Okay, that shit is very good. It's I love it. I really do. It's very much my shit. But then also, what's her name? Fuck.
Kida.
Kida, yeah, Princess Kida, who. This is the one that I really grinds my gears. Okay, she's she is a Disney princess. Like, she's an Atlantean princess. It was an official Disney animated film. She's as much like a main character in Atlantis as Jasmine was in Aladdin. Like, why is she not in the official lineup?
Because
I mean, I know why.
Kyle, you can throw his saying to him now.
Well, I just said it's like because it was a bigger bomb than Moana.
Yeah, I know, it was a huge ass bomb. The 2000s were a crapshoot financially. The 2000s were just terrible.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I think like, sad to say, and I hate it, but like, I think Atlantis will stick through the test of time in terms of like Disney films, and unfortunately, I think Moana is gonna go. In terms like.
I don't know where the fuck you're
I
getting
think
this.
I
really
don't think so.
Wait.
Like, if
I think
anything,
Moana will be
Atlantis is
forgotten.
gonna get bigger and bigger as we go. So is Moana. But like, if you're comparing like the three big bombs, which I feel are like the Black Cauldron, Treasure Planet, and Atlantis wins like 100%. And I feel like it's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger as
I feel we really underestimate how popular Moana is. I mean, it's not
I'm
Frozen.
sorry.
No, I
It's
don't.
not
I
Frozen.
don't agree with Kyle. Like, I'm saying like Moana is gonna stick. Like, I don't think
I
that
know
one's gonna
we
go
joke.
away. But
Moana
like,
already has stuck.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like this idea that it's like this, like it is not like A Bug's Life. It is not one of those things where it just kind of happened and people kind of like don't mention it. Like, Moana is still unbelievably big and is still at the front of like pop culture and shit like that. Like, this idea that Moana is like, oh, everyone's forgotten. Like, no. And as far as like Treasure Planet or even like Atlantis, they went from having like 4 fans to like 7 fans. So it's like, I don't.
And also, just to add another layer to this, Atlantis was seen as a potential revival of the submarine voyage, but it was scrapped because of its disastrous box office failure. Whereas
And they turned it into Nemo.
Moana's getting an attraction in one of the China parks coming soon.
Yeah.
and Epcot.
Whenever they do something like Disney wise and they include like all their characters, like the Pixar and the Marvel and the Star Wars and all of these, my hope is always like, maybe they'll get to the Atlantis characters, maybe they'll get to Treasure Planet characters.
It got
And
so
it's like,
close. It was so close.
They've started appearing at the parks again. Like, the characters, they started appearing as of like maybe 2 years ago or so. Like, they've become like a popular like character meet and greet.
But it's
So
a far
does-
cry from almost having a damn attraction.
But I mean, look how long it took to have those characters in
Right,
the parks.
right.
You know what
I
mean?
think Atlantis, come time, I think it will go the way of Hocus Pocus.
No. I think it'll always be a black sheep. I think it can definitely grow in because it has in appreciation with time, but it's never gonna hit like big enough numbers, I feel, to like do anything. Which, I mean, oh well, alas, I'll never get my Atlantis fucking attraction. And like the film, it does so much like weird fun shit. Like, the world of Atlantis is actually really interesting.
It it doesn't look like the stereotypical Atlantis, while also like paying homage to like those like classic looks.
Mhm.
I don't know. The animation as well as like. Yes.
And Akira, is that what's her name?
Kita.
Akira.
Kita.
Akira's an anime.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Kita. Sorry.
Kita. But she's awesome. Like, she straight up was about to murder a dude in the film. Like, I just watched it. Like, they don't shy away from that shit. No, she's awesome. She should be in the official lineup. It's bullshit that she isn't. Okay. The next one, The Princess and the Frog. I love The Princess and the Frog. I mean, come on now, the music.
And for as much as we joke about Moana, this was the real like disappointing bomb.
I think he's joking.
I'm not. I love Princess and the Frog. Wait, why are you making that face?
Because she was convinced you'd put it higher, I think.
Really? Okay. Well, there's maybe other reasons and things for it's. Well, what number am I on?
Number 4.
4?
Yeah, number 4. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I really liked Princess and the Frog. I really like the music. I think musically it might be the best Disney animated film. I just really, it's like every song I really like, and that's not the case with all animated Disney.
I mean, if
films.
it must be a miracle if it got you to like music. I mean, I'll tell you that.
I already don't even fucking start. I already explained my relationship with music. Okay, I like it.
You mean it's
just
non-existent relationship,
no
an insignificant
labels.
relationship?
no labels. It's an open relationship.
Oh, God.
Tiana is a great character. She's awesome. I like what they do with her. That she's not like, she doesn't start off as a princess. She starts off just kind of like working her way through life, and then the way she meets like this, doesn't like to work at all prince, and the way they play off of each other. They both are fun, interesting characters, and yeah, I really really like them. What was that? Number 4, number 3, The Little Mermaid. I loved The Little Mermaid as a child. I think that was the first Disney movie I loved. Probably, yeah. Yeah, it was. And yeah, I don't know why, but I loved it. Ariel was always awesome to me. And yes, she is pining over a boy, but I don't. She's very much like a teenager, so it's like this. I don't think to me it's no different than looking at like a coming of age story, like,
which it pretty much is.
Yeah,
in a way, yeah, like it's her thing.
It's like this girl, she wants to go out into the world and meet people, and of course she quickly, puppy love, falls in love with this guy. But just the personality of Ariel, I think, is great. And yeah, I see it almost as like a coming of age story in the same way I would other coming of age story type films. I really like it. And yeah, like they get married at the end. It was made like in the 80s. Like, I don't know what the fuck you want. Wasn't it 1989?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's like, come on. But yeah, I've always loved Ariel and the Little Mermaid. Next one, Beauty and the Beast. I like that film. It is good.
I mean, we reference it like all the time, just making fun of a certain
first animated movie to ever get a nomination for Best Picture.
Belle is in fact the girl.
Oh God,
she is indeed the girl.
She could be the one that brings us back.
Oh my God, honestly, I've grown to hate that remake so much because of these two. I really have. Like, oh my God, it never ends.
Okay, the film did it on its own. Come on now.
I mean, grown to hate it more.
Sacre bleu.
The sacre bleu. She must break the spell.
Ooh la la.
No, like every if you look at like the official line for Princess, like Belle is like the bookworm of them, quote unquote. If you're to like reduce them to like a single trait, and technically that is her, but there's also more to her in the same way that there's more to the Beast. And the fact that I think each of them bring that out in each other is really cool to see throughout the movie. It's not just a lot of people like to call it Stockholm syndrome, jokingly, but it's not that. I don't feel I do think it's more authentic in its love story. And yeah, Belle's really awesome. Mm-hmm. And then of course the film, like Alexis said, it was like the first animated film to be nominated for Best Picture. So I mean, come on. And then number 1 is Mulan. I feel like I've maybe rewatched Mulan the most. Yeah, and guess what? It has music, so choke on it.
3 songs. 3 songs. Yeah, compare that to the other ones.
It has.
No. Can you name the songs, Peter? Peter, can you name the songs?
Don't you dare get condescending with me, okay?
What are the name of the songs?
There's Reflection,
right?
Make a Man Out of You, and 2 others. Let me think.
Honor to
okay.
us all and a girl worth fighting for.
Oh yeah. That's what I said. Anyway, yeah, I really like this one. I think Mulan easily has like the best character, the most interesting character. Like you delve into the idea of honor, the way she wants to protect her father, the way she then wants to protect her country, the really interesting relationship she has with what's his name? Zhen Shi
Shang?
Sean Yu.
Shang.
Oh no,
Did you
yeah,
just
Shang.
call him? Did you say
Sorry,
Chang-Chi?
I'm like watching it right now and it came on. Sorry.
Did you say Shang-Chi, the Marvel superhero?
Did I? I don't know.
I think you literally said Shang-Chi.
Maybe I did, but it was close. It's Chang, right? Chang, whatever. They have an interesting relationship. Like that one point where like he's almost gonna kill her because she's revealed to be like
A woman.
a woman.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, but they also sort of developed a relationship when she was a man, kind of, or at least he thought she was a man.
Yeah.
Like their relationship started at that point. As far as not like official relationship, but you know what I mean.
They respected each other, type of thing.
Yeah. It might have gone a little further though. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. But no, I've always really liked Mulan, and yes, I really liked the music. Yeah, easily one of my favorites. And as far as these go, my number one.
Okay.
There.
So to recap Peter's list, we have number 15 being Frozen 2, number 14 being Brave, number 13 being Pocahontas, number 12, Sleeping Beauty, number 11, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, number 10, Frozen, number 9, Cinderella, number 8, Tangled, number 7, Aladdin, number 6, Moana, number 5, Atlantis the Lost Empire, number 4, Princess and the Frog, number 3, The Little Mermaid, number 2, Beauty and the Beast, with number 1 being Mulan. Okay. Not a bad list. I gotta say.
It is interesting though, because I would have really pegged Kyle to have picked Mulan, and I would have pegged Peter to have picked Beauty and the Beast. It's an interesting role reversal.
Really?
There. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought
Interesting.
Peter was gonna put Princess and the Frog.
No, I love it. I do. It's like top tier Disney for me, but it's not. I don't know if it's my favorite. See, and then like the rules were kind of weird. It kind of threw me off. I don't know. Maybe if we go like official, if we ever do official like Disney films, maybe. I don't know.
That's gonna be a long ass podcast. If we
That
do
would be
that.
a multi episode series.
Top 10.
That still is like a long time. Look how long we're spending on this.
Well, yeah, because everyone's doing like 15 each, and there's 4 of us.
Okay.
Okay. A couple things before I go.
Oh no.
I feel like I made my list like more on the basis of like what movie I liked better.
Okay.
Me
And-
too.
Yeah, that's what kind of I based it off of. Then, I do not hate these movies. I probably will not talk bad about these movies. I feel horrible placing these movies in order of how I like them because I do not hate them at all.
Well,
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
And also, I feel like you guys are gonna get mad at me.
I mean, of course.
Okay, so see, like even starting off at number 15, I feel horrible.
It's pretty much the same bullshit that we do every night. Pinky,
Every day.
try to take
every
over.
week.
Try to take over the world.
That's the show. Go ahead, Alexis.
Number 15 is
Are you gonna cry?
I think she might cry. I mean, this is her life, guys. Like, I mean, she grew up with these people, and now
She
she's
is a
gonna-
high priestess of the Disney cult.
okay. Number 15 is Snow White.
Holy crap.
Oh no. Oh no.
Holy crap. Okay.
If I was like a high elder Disney cult member, I would strip you of your rank right now. Oh my god.
Before or after, they'd have a heart attack.
Holy
I know.
shit. What the hell? Okay. Okay, you started off strong, Moreno. Let's do this.
Okay.
You must lash yourself 6 times
No,
for
15.
repentance.
15 because she positioned
15. Because she put it number 15.
Okay. The reason is at the bottom is because it was never one of my favorites. It wasn't one that I like would go to. It was honestly like when I was little, it was really scary to me.
I mean, yeah, there's some.
So
scary
that's why I
sequences
wouldn't
there,
rewatch it.
And that theme park ride? Oh my god.
Oh, I can't get on that. There's no way.
There's a theme park ride?
Yeah.
Snow White's Scary Adventures. It's notorious for being like really scared. The children would like cry getting off that ride.
I can't, like, if I write it, I have to sit on a certain side and I close my eyes.
They literally renamed the ride to Scary Adventures.
That's funny. Bunch of pussies.
Okay, continuing. Aside from that, I think that the movie still holds up super well. Like, this movie came out in 1937, and it's wild because, like, yeah, it holds up really well. The doors are great.
Apparently not that well.
You can't kiss its ass after making it 15.
The scene where they're like dancing and stuff is one of my favorite scenes. Yeah, Dopey, Grumpy. Yeah, Snow White as a character, I think she's fine. Like, she's not my favorite. Like,
oh, I found something that'll piss Peter off. So, when you think of Snow White and something that you like about Snow White, do you think of this character version, or do you think of Ginnifer Goodwin's portrayal on the television hit ABC genre show Once Upon a Time?
Don't go there.
I mean, honestly, even then, she was like my least favorite in that show. I do think that she made her more relatable. But like, if we're going just on the animation one, she's okay. At least to me, she's okay.
I don't disagree with that, to tell you the truth.
Evil Queen is amazing. Even the songs, like, I actually really like the songs, even though it's not like my go-to, but like, yeah, like, they're great.
Whistle while you work.
But yeah, even like the scene where she's like passed out and like the casket, like the glass casket, like, I love how that scene looks. But yeah,
it's just the thing about Snow White is it's a work of art. I
mean, it is.
None of these movies would exist without it, and it's for it being the oldest animated film ever made. It holds up, and just how it's a portrait. You could look at it all day, and it never get old.
It's when talking about this film, there's a little bit of an enjoyable factor going into this movie because it's so funny when she does the high pitch. I like it.
Oh, okay.
It's funny to me. I think it's funny because it's been parodied to death, but it never gets old.
I like pizza with pineapple on it, so.
Okay. Anyways, but yeah, that's my number 15.
Asshole! I just got that. Oh my god. Yeah, I'll have a pepperoni and cheese with a side. I'm kidding. Go, Alexis.
Don't trigger me, man. Don't trigger me.
Number 14. Frozen.
Huh.
I do love this movie. Like I said, like I don't hate any of these movies, so I'm gonna keep repeating that. But
such a goddamn hater.
No. Even when I like watched the first time, like when I got out, like I was with my cousin and my brother, and I was like, oh, it was okay. Like it was pretty good. I'm not like the biggest fan of Let It Go. But I do love what's it called? How to Build a Snowman.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Do you want to build a snowman? Whatever.
I mean, yeah, that's how you view this film.
And I love Anna. Elsa in this movie was not my favorite. But Anna was great.
Yeah,
and Kristoff.
Really, yeah.
I love Kristoff.
Yeah.
Olaf was fine. But yeah.
Olaf is annoying.
I think you just hate that character anywhere he's in, Peter. Let's just be real. You don't like that character at all.
He was tolerable in the first film, but fuck.
Did you love Olaf's Frozen Adventure?
No. I did not love Olaf's Frozen Adventure.
And I definitely like did not get all of the hype around this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
It's definitely not like the best animated Disney film.
Yeah.
No, I think nowhere near. I think that's going to be a trend. Spoiler alert for my list, but it's almost weirdly enough like Lion King in that there are people who have, grown to question why that film was like the king of the Disney Renaissance. Although no one questions, I feel, that Lion King is just great. Frozen, although there's some questions about how good it is.
I don't know if I'd go as far as say like great with Frozen.
No. I said that there are questions about how good or not Frozen is, but Lion King is great. But there are people though who have, pushed back against the notion that Lion King was the best animated movie of Disney's entire run.
Mm-hmm.
But Lion King was the king though because the merchandise, the phenomenon, the box office. It was the highest grossing animated movie.
Academy Awards.
Yeah.
All around the board.
But yeah, Frozen. Number 13, Enchanted.
You included this one.
I did.
Okay.
I wasn't going to, but then I was like, no, yeah, like I have to.
You know what? Okay. I want to hear what you're going to say.
First of all, I want to start off with I have a complaint. Why the fuck is this movie not on Disney Plus?
Because Disney's stupid. There you go. Continue, Alexis.
Because they cheated you. They said all their content was going to be on there, and it isn't.
And it was a big fucking lie. Like, half of the seasons of Recess are not on Disney Plus for no fucking reason. So, you know.
Cinderella isn't on there. I'm sad. But then Melina Annie is. That doesn't make any... Okay, whatever. I'm done.
10 Things I Hate About You is...
And not Cinderella. Okay. Enchanted. I watched this movie. I did not watch this movie in the theater because I didn't know that it was coming out. I watched it like after. But I freaking loved this movie when it came out, and I was so sad because I watched it with like my mom and her friend and like her daughter and like my brother and stuff, and nobody else liked it but me. And I was so sad. I love all of the characters. Dude, that the prince, like, he's a freaking riot. I love it. The music is great.
James Marsden.
Yeah. Like, I love him. I'm not like the biggest fan of the one that she ends up with, but whatever. But I love her. Like, I think she's like so like sweet and innocent and like kind of like a dork, but like she just has like really good intentions and stuff. Like, I don't know, I love it. And like the
continue.
The thing I like about this movie is that it's also just kind of like it makes fun of like Disney with like having the live action and like how she acts with everything, like everything around her and stuff. So yeah, I just really like that.
it really does play on the tropes that is Disney and everything like that. Like again, it's like kind of that's where like the marriage of like her being like a fish out of water really does lend itself to something like that. Just her reacting to everything is hilarious. Her calling all the city animals is hilarious with just a song.
And like that song where I think she's in Central Park and like she starts singing and then everybody starts singing around her. Like it's just so funny. But like that song is such a bop.
It is. I've been dreaming of a true love's kiss. It's like I don't know, like that feeling. It feels like the captured of a classic Disney, but also it like boosts it up with having like the modern day essence of storytelling as well. Mm-hmm. Also the homages to different things. I mean, Jodie Benson cameos in the movie. Even it plays some of the score from Little Mermaid in there as well. I mean, there's like just like so many different like plays on like what Disney is, but then also it like makes its own thing and it has its own charm. It's very very parody, but it does something really wild and wacky with it, like especially with the how does she know that she loves it? Get all of Central Park to sing it. And also Idina Menzel is in the movie as well. It's ahead of its time, if you will.
But yeah, Enchanted. Okay. I'm gonna continue to like upset you guys, but it's fine. Number 12, Aladdin.
Okay. All right. Go on. Let's hear you.
This is very much like Snow White, where it was just not like one of my favorites. I love the music. I think it's really great. I love each of the characters are really great, and I mean that's kind of why it's above Snow White, because like I do like I love Aladdin, like his reprise. Like I love that song, and it like very much explains who he is as a person, and I love that. And then Jasmine, like I mean, she's like queen. She's so sassy, and I love it. But yeah, like it's fine. Like Jafar is like not one of my favorites. Like I think it's fine.
He does have a good diss song as his villain song, doing the reprise of Prince Ali.
Yeah, and I mean the genie, like obviously, like he's great.
However, Jafar has puns. Can't go wrong with that.
You absolutely can.
Especially if your name happens to be Kyle Lira.
You'll see how snake-like I could be.
Oh my god. But yeah, Aladdin. 11. Pocahontas.
Too damn high.
I do not agree with anything that you guys said. I think Pocahontas is such a strong character, and that's just crazy to me that you guys didn't say that. I freaking love the music. I mean, when we did that song list, that was like one of my top ones. But like, not even just that one. Like, most of the songs I think are like amazing.
Peter, get this. When we did the songs list, in her honorable mentions, she put Savages.
Oh no. Did you really?
She did.
That might be like one of the worst songs in Pocahontas. Savages, savages.
Not to mention, of course, just the litany of problems.
Yeah, the problematic shit that song has. Like, oh my god.
Yep.
But anyways. The genocider is just as bad as the one getting genocided. Okay.
But continue.
I watched this movie a lot when I was little. It was mainly for the music, but even then, like I think Pocahontas, I think that she's animated or drawn, whatever you want to call it. Like, I think she's so pretty. Like the way that they do like her face and stuff, and like the way that she moves and like her hair movement and all that. Like, I love it. I'm not a fan of John Smith, whatever. But it's mainly because of Pocahontas. Like, I just love her. And I love...
Add to the number of problems with that movie, Mel Gibson did the voice of John Smith.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson as the white colonizer. You can say that's problematic, but that's also spot on casting. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
But yeah, and obviously, I understand why this movie is like not the best, but to me, the music is like just means so much to me, like, and not like Savages. I'm talking about Colors of the Wind and Just Around the River Bend. And
nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
And I love Pocahontas as a character.
What was your stance? One of the we ever discussed about the deleted song that was, put back in and
I haven't actually listened to that.
Oh, okay. It's actually not bad.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, number 10 is Brave.
This one I can't get behind. I mean, there's so many great movies that you put below this one.
Trash. Your whole soul.
Well, okay. Honestly, I can maybe count the times I've seen like Aladdin. Like, it's just like not a movie that it's like my go-to. Like, none of the ones that I've mentioned so far, even like Brave, are like not some that I like constantly watch. But this is like my placement of them and which one I've liked more. And Brave just happens to be higher than the rest to me. I love Merida. I think one of the things that I really like about this movie, and might be why I have it up, is because of the score. I love it. And also the dad. I love the dad in this movie.
It's good stuff.
He just like, I know it's like a mother-daughter movie, but like the dad reminds me like so much of my dad. So I think that may be why I have such a connection to the movie. And like the mom very much does remind me of my mom. So I don't know. That's why. But yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Brave. Number 9 is Moana.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow, you bitch. Come on. Seriously. And I'm the one that supports and everything, but I mean, did you hit your head?
But like, if you look at the other ones, they're better. That I'm just gonna say after. But I love Moana. Like this is what, like, I can't like do this because I love all of these movies. It's just
Are you resigning?
No. But like,
you love Moana so much, you put her at number 9.
Yes. Honestly, yes.
I understand.
I think that,
in my top 10, I put Parasite at number 8, but I love that film. But some people just can't take that, can they? So.
I think Moana is such a great character. Every time I watch that movie, it makes me cry, and it's mainly because of like the grandma part. I love like the scene of her like dying and turning into the water thing. Wild. It's so beautiful.
You mean the stingray?
Yeah, whatever it's called. Like that was such like a oh my god like moment when I first saw that movie. And then like her coming back and like telling Moana like, no, like you have to do this type of thing. I love it. I love, you know what I really love? I love the mom. Like, I know she comes out for like 2 seconds, but like I love that when she's,
her mother's a bear.
I love that when she's packing, like instead of the mom like stopping her, the mom's like, no, like I know, like, you have to do this, and, like, she helps her and stuff, like, even if she doesn't want to, because she kind of has to find, like, her own path type of thing, and, like, do what she thinks is best, like, take responsibility, like, she's gonna have to one day. Like, I love that. Maui, I think, is fine. Like, he's okay. He kind of annoyed me in some parts. But, like, his song is great and stuff. What else? The ending scene.
Maui is kind of like that edgelord kind of guy that pretends he didn't cry at Mufasa's death at one point.
Yeah. But, yeah, but, like, even then, like, when he tells his story of, like, his parents, like, not wanting him, basically, and, like, the gods taking him in, like, and he just gets so, like, it's kind of like a Thor moment where it's, like, he gets so, like, sentimental, but he's, like, but we gotta keep moving type of thing. Like, I think that's great. Like, I like that they put that in there because it makes him not so, like,
douchey
show offy. Yeah. And then, yeah, the ending scene of, like, what Taka and, like, all that stuff, amazing, wild. But yeah, so I love Moana. It's just not my favorite.
Such a hater.
But yeah, so number 8 is Cinderella. This one, if I did this maybe like 10 years ago, Cinderella would be dead last.
You're a Disney fan, right?
Yes. I did not like Cinderella at all growing up. Like, not the movie, the character. I was very much this person.
Wait, what?
I was very much this person
Were you
of
rooting
like
for the stepmother?
No, like I
think she was.
Oh my god, I was just like very much the person to be like, why didn't she just leave? Why is she putting up with them? I don't get it. Like, they're bitches to her. I just fucking walk out the door. And it frustrated me, like, so much. But
This seems a lot like the blame the victim mentality here. I don't know.
But
you do understand you're basically saying, fuck you to a slave. Fuck you for being a slave.
I'm pretty sure they would not have kept her there if she was.
She's a slave. She was locked up in a tower.
She could have easily left. I still believe that.
In the movie, Lady Tremaine...
believe that. But they freaking left the house. Nobody was in the house to go to the ball. She was at the ball. She didn't have to go back. Like,
I cannot believe we're having this conversation.
Anyways.
Where would she go? With what money?
Better than staying in there and getting abused.
With what food? Okay. This is gonna delve off into a whole other argument. Oh my god.
Anyways.
I think this
victim blaming over here.
As I kept going. But okay, see, here's like the thing though, because I love the Brandy version. And in the Brandy version, she was about to leave.
What's the Brandy version?
Okay, there's the Rogers and Hammerstein did a musical called Cinderella, and it is really, really well loved and everything like that. It's like probably like one of like the first Broadway shows to exist. And then ABC and the Wonderful World of Disney did a film version with Brandy as Cinderella and Whitney Houston as the fairy godmother.
Okay. I've never heard of it, but okay.
It's great. You should watch it. But anyways, that was like my version of Cinderella. So it's like weird because I love that, but I wasn't the biggest fan of the animation, even though it's like the same story. But I don't know why, I just like the Brandy one better growing up. But as I was saying, in these past few years, I have come to appreciate this movie a lot more. And Cinderella, like the character.
bullshit.
What do you mean?
If I'm not allowed to do that with the Black Cauldron, you aren't allowed to do that with Cinderella.
I allow it.
I allowed
it.
I said it was fine.
But you were wrong to allow it. Like, he didn't have to include the Black Cauldron, but he chose to. That's the difference right there. So it's kind of like a slap in the face. Yeah. No.
But yeah, I adore the music in this movie. I think it's one of the best soundtracks. The animation in this movie obviously is like one of the best. Lady Tremaine, I do love Lady Tremaine and the stepsisters. The stepsisters are
clearly because you were rooting for them.
The fairy godmother I think is great. I'm not like the biggest fan of her song, but I do love her. And then Jack and Gus are great as well. And I do like have come to appreciate like the character Cinderella as of now. I do like that obviously she's kind and blah blah blah, that crap. But I also like the fact that like, well, I don't know how I feel about it kind of, but like I think it's kind of cool but then like weird. That when she's at the ball, she doesn't know that she's dancing with the prince. But then it's also kind of weird because she's like, oh, like, I need to go dance with the prince? I don't know. But, like, I think it's like, weird, but, like, I also think it's kind of cool. But, yeah. Cinderella.
What a doozy. Okay, number 7.
Number 7 is Mulan.
Such a hater.
Such
a goddamn hater.
I do.
I love Mulan as a character. I think she's great. I personally do not see her as a princess.
I will say that's fair.
I see her more in the sense of like a heroine, like Hercules, Tarzan.
She's not a princess.
Yeah, so I like to see her more as that rather than a princess, because I feel like if you're calling her a princess, it just kind of makes her like not as cool. At least to me, like not as strong.
It bumps her down a couple of notches.
Yeah. So, but she is in the list, and so I included her. And also, I love the movie. The songs are great. Yeah. But I do think that her and, like, the grandma are the only interesting characters. All of, like, the side characters, like, even, like... Well, Mushu is, like, okay, and the cricket. But, like, all of the other ones, like... I honestly, 100%, I skip the rest.
Wow.
You're the devil. Like, I don't get this. I don't. You like Disney? Like the movies they make?
We think?
Why? Why?
You couldn't even remember the name of the other songs. So at least I remember the name of the song. Can you name the other characters? I cannot name any of the other characters. Like, because I love, like, I just think that Mulan is such a, like, obviously it's, like, her movie, and she's such a strong character that she makes all of the other ones, like, super uninteresting to me, because I think she's so great.
I don't do names, okay? It has nothing to do with the film.
Sounds like a deflection to me if I ever heard one.
I can't do names.
Also, another note: can't go wrong with Ming Na Wen.
Yeah. But yeah, move on. Number 6 is Frozen 2.
I'm done. Oh God.
I love this movie. I don't know what Peter was saying. Like I said, I get it, but I don't agree with it at all. I think that Elsa's arc is just like, it literally makes me cry like every time. What?
Sing it, girl. Sing it.
Oh,
This is not karaoke.
like I think
do
that
as
at
well.
the end of Frozen, she was okay with herself, but she wasn't, like, she still was very reserved, whereas the end of Frozen 2, she completely became and accepted herself. So I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And like
I love the fact that we can tell children that if they're different, they should just remove themselves from society because they're never gonna fit in.
Or if she doesn't feel comfortable with the situation,
who you are and
they're
understanding
okay
where
to
you've
leave.
always, where your heart's always been at. I don't understand this whole thing about. I
Okay.
really don't.
It's okay to remove yourself from toxic people.
But the people weren't toxic.
But if you're still not comfortable with the situation,
I think he was talking
like-
about you, Peter.
Oh, then yeah, leave.
yeah, like, then that's okay too.
But the people in the film aren't toxic.
I'm not saying
they
that
actually-
they're toxic.
But if that's the argument, if you want to remove yourself because they're bad,
That's
like,
not what I'm
obviously.
arguing, though. I'm just saying if you're not.
well, that's what they were saying.
Oh no, I'm saying if you're not comfortable in the position that you're in and the, like, you know, just like where you're at. Like, for example, I could use myself as an example. I was around my family in the valley, blah blah blah, but I was not happy. I wasn't comfortable where I was, and so I moved. Like, that's
It's not
totally
that you weren't
fine.
accepted. Is that it's just
Yeah.
not where you
Wanted to be,
belonged.
yeah, and that's fine.
It's very Fox and the Hound vibes.
What?
I don't remember that movie because I cried.
Oh, okay.
Or like leaving Elsa in the middle of the woods.
Wait. Hold on, Alexis, have you seen Fox and the Hound?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I don't remember it to the point where you're saying that you got Fox and the Hound. Oh, because they separated at the end?
The ending is very famous or infamous. You don't remember like the line in the film? I've literally not seen it since I was like maybe 6, and I remember.
The line?
Yeah.
I remember what
Where
happens.
the sky meets the sea?
It's like along the lines of like, I guess, you know, a fox and a hound aren't meant to be together.
That's not what the movie was saying, though, in Frozen 2, at all.
It kind
wasn't
of is.
saying that at all.
It kind of is.
Wait,
No,
how?
If the very people that like care about you aren't, if you're not capable of like being comfortable around them, it's sort of just saying like you'll never be comfortable around the people that love you and your family
I
and
think it
friends,
was
and the
very
only
clear that
way
she was
is
uncomfortable
to
being in the
separate
situation,
yourself.
not that she was
The only
uncomfortable
way
around the
is
people
to
that she was
separate
in, so that
yourself
it
from
wasn't
society
all the
and
people
from
that
the
she was
people
around,
around
and
you,
it
because
was
you're
her
never going to feel
actually
comfortable.
not
One at a
being
time.
comfortable
And you're never
being
gonna
the ruler
feel-
of Arendelle or any kind of ruler there.
hmm I'm just telling you that's what it was.
For you.
Yeah,
That's
for
true.
you.
I mean, films are subjective.
Oh, really? I thought they were based on scientific fact not too long ago is what you said.
No. The list was based on scientific fact. The films are subjective.
You make as much sense as J.J. Abrams right now.
And he made a $2 billion film.
Which
Okay.
you've destroyed. Continue.
Moving on. Number 5 is
Six,
Beauty
six.
and the Beast.
Six.
What?
Oh, wait,
6
no,
is Frozen
sorry.
2.
That's right.
Yeah, number 5 is Beauty and the Beast. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this movie's great. I have no complaints. It's just, I think there's better ones. But yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Agreed.
Number 4. This one was like purely nostalgic because she was my favorite princess growing up, and that's Sleeping Beauty.
She was your favorite growing up?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
So she liked to sleep.
I loved the movie growing up. I loved like her song. Her song is like one of my favorite songs. I love that she's so like elegant and like I don't know, like I really like that, like graceful and elegant and stuff. Like I know she's only in the movie for like 2 seconds, but like I like what they show of her. Maleficent, she's my favorite villain. She's great. I love her. And then the fairies, like I love the fairies. But yeah, I just personally really like this movie a lot. But it was mainly like nostalgic also. Yeah. Number 3 is Princess and the Frog, which I put it higher than you, which is so weird.
So far, you're yeah,
the highest.
No, Kyle had her number 3. Tiana's doing really great so far.
I think Tiana is the best Disney princess out of all of them. Like, if it was,
then why isn't she number 1?
If it was purely because of the princesses, Tiana would be number 1. But like, there's other movies that I liked better. But I do truly, truly love this movie. Like I watch it every other day, like today. I love Tiana. I love her relationship with Naveen. Like I love that she like doesn't put up with the shit. Louis, I think, is great. Like I really like him. I love the story with Ray. And then
same.
Dr. Facilier, I think, is great. I love that he's amazing. His ending, like, I think is one of like the scariest one. Like he's literally like dragged to like hell type of thing. Like that's wild.
Well, the other side.
Well, what's it called? And then the music, I think, is like, this is like one of my favorite soundtracks. I think this is Randy Newman's best work, in my opinion.
It may just be.
This one and Brave are like the scores that I listen to the most. But yeah, I don't know. Every song, like I listen to every song. It's great.
Gotta dig a little deeper. It's good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
The song.
And dude, I love Lottie. Oh my god, I think she's like
she's amazing.
Dude, I love her so much. Like I just want to give her a big hug. I freaking love her. But yeah. Yeah.
You know, she's the cool white friend. That's what she
I just love that she's so like they're so different, but she doesn't really see that. Like she doesn't really care. And
her
she
last
cares.
line of the movie always makes me laugh out of my chair, which is like, well, I've waited this long, when she's dancing with like a toddler prince.
It's wild. But yeah, no, I love it. I love this movie. So yeah, number 2 is Tangled.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alexis hates this one.
No, I don't. Tangled is actually really high on my list, so...
Wow. Did you rewatch this one and have a change of heart as well?
Years ago, man. Years ago. No, literally years ago. I've said this like so many times.
Everyone's just shoving revisionist history into this podcast,
including
today.
yourself, Peter, because I mean, you can't really answer the question why it is you hate about music so much, and yet, you know,
I didn't say I hated music. I said I view it differently.
All I'm saying, you like to
people.
call everybody hypocrite. I mean, look in the mirror when you say comments like that.
It is in no way hypocritical.
Yes,
An elaboration is not a hypocritical comment.
Oh. When I try to elaborate, I'm called a damn, like,
it's
fucking
a
Hillary.
flip-flop. Yes.
Okay.
Moving
Tangled.
on to number 2.
Tangled. I think the main reason why this movie is so high up is because of Flynn and Rapunzel. I love them. Like, I love them so much. I love Rapunzel, and, like, she's so, like, naive, but at the same time, she's very spunky, and, like, you know, like, she kind of goes for what she wants, even though she knows it's wrong in her mind. like she questions every second of the way, which is very like me. Like if I'm doing something, I'm always like second guessing myself. So I kind of like relate to her.
And it lends itself to like some comedic stuff. Like she was like, "Oh, this is the best day of my life," you know, and then the next second she's like, "Oh, this is the worst day of my life." And just like the way that she bounces back and forth with that is really charming.
And even like when Mother Gothel shows up and is like, oh, like when she does her little like evil song, like which is great. And she's like, oh, like give him the crown and see what happens. And she's very much like she goes, like she just follows her heart, and like when she feels that something is right, she goes for it. Like I freaking love that, and I love every song in this movie. Even like the scene with like the parents, like that gets to me every single time. And also I will keep on repeating this, so if you guys have not seen the Tangled show, you guys need to watch it.
Well, I was going to watch it, but then Kyle told me it broke canon, so I decided not to.
But whatever. He hasn't even watched it.
That's what he said. I mean, I don't know, take it up with him.
But yeah, Tangled. And then what?
But instead, Peter watched Gravity Falls, which, by the way, I want to do a review on that show with you.
Gravity
Was it
Falls.
your first time?
Yeah.
Oh wow, did you like it?
Yeah, I did. It's a really good show.
Yeah. Okay. And then number 1, no surprise, it's The Little Mermaid.
But Kyle just told me it's crap. What's going on here?
I do not agree with people when they say that, you know, oh, she left her family to be with some guy she just met, blah blah blah.
She technically never met him.
But let me tell you this: how Max Landis, you know, created the whole.
Wait, what?
How Max Landis perpetuated that "damn Mary Sue" comment about Ray is the exact same thing that Sarah Sterling did with that fucking Ariel thing, where it's just taken Storm. So fuck her for that.
Who? I need some backstory.
She's the Max Landis of the Disney community.
Holy shit!
I do not agree with that, but okay.
Wait, who is she?
I'm kidding, man. She's some girl in the community parks. I actually like her, but I really disagree with that point. I just think it's just really from the wrong place.
What did she say specifically?
Sarah Sterling is like a giant in like the not the Diz Twitter, but like of the Disney fan community.
She's just a vlogger. Peter, everything that Kyle said is what she said. She trashed Ariel. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, I believe that how Peter said it is a coming of age story. And as she says, she is 16. At 16, I would have done the same shit. If I had the opportunity to go somewhere that I've been wanting to go for years, like my whole life. If I had the
opportunity to sell my soul to a witch.
But I wouldn't see it like that because I'm 16.
I'm 16. I'm not a child.
Yes, that's very much how I was, and I'm pretty sure you were the same way.
You know, I gotta be. You know, it's rich here, the hypocrisy. You know, one of Kyle's favorite characters of all time is a literal like adult Peter Pan in the form of Star-Lord, where everything that he does is completely childlike and sets everything back and doesn't think about the situations, and yet he finds it just to just trash Ariel for doing the exact same shit that Star-Lord does. I mean,
it's complete misogyny.
Yeah, it really is.
I think it really does stem from a hatred of women and their experience.
I mean, it's bad enough that Alexis hates women, but now Kyle does too. I mean, seriously, come on.
Anyways, yeah, that is what I think on that point. But other than that, I think the music in this movie is great. I love Ariel. I love Eric. I love Sebastian and Flounder. All of the characters I think are great. I love how this movie looks. I know it's under the sea and I don't like that, but I love like that it has so much color and like I don't know. I just love this movie so much, and I love her. And yeah, that's all.
Okay,
Do you want to recap it real quick?
So to recap the whole thing, we have Snow White at number 15, number 14.
My heart.
Number 14, Frozen. Number 13, Enchanted. 12, Aladdin. 11, Pocahontas. Number 10, Brave. Number 9, Moana. Number, again, My Heart. 8, Cinderella. Number 7, Mulan. Number 6, Frozen 2. Number 5, Beauty and the Beast. Number 4, Sleeping Beauty. Number 3, Princess and the Frog. And number 2, Tangled. Number 1, The Little Mermaid. Shocker right there, right, people? Yeah. Just because I'm not particularly fond of Ariel doesn't mean I hate The Little Mermaid, though.
I mean, that's exactly what it means, but okay.
Okay. Alexis Soto. Your turn, buddy.
Okay, dead last at number 15. I have 15. I just added one. Just because I felt like it.
Okay.
I mean,
To
all of
be
you were
equal.
doing it. Yes, just to be equal. Everyone was adding a movie. So number 15, dead last, is easily Brave. Honestly, every time I finish watching that movie, I ask myself, why did I watch that again?
God damn.
It's just dull. I do like Merida, and I do like her mom, and it's
She is a bear.
I like the movie, but I mean, just there's nothing else to the movie than just what it is. Like, honestly, this is a Disney princess movie ranked list, and Pixar made the worst one. That should tell you something. But I do like Merida for what she is. But even if I were to say from a character perspective, she is the weakest, except for I guess Aurora. But...
Goodbye.
Yeah. So that's Brave. The number 14 is Pocahontas. Yeah, I probably would have completely trashed this movie, but I saw it again. You know what? I gained a new appreciation in the sense that the music is pretty great. However,
You, sir, are problematic.
This movie was such a misfire. It might as well have been renamed Mistake.
God.
I mean, there is a part of me that appreciates what it was going for, but just because it is a neoliberal's wet dream, it makes me just hate a lot of the messaging out of this movie. This whole
why the movie is the way that it is? It's because
it's Disney.
No, because they wanted to do a Romeo and Juliet movie.
Yes.
And in their mind, this was the easiest way to do it.
Well, that's just
why don't they just do a Romeo and Juliet? I would totally watch a Disney version of Romeo and Juliet.
Again, a neoliberal's wet dream. They're trying to, make something profound and progressive without actually trying. I mean, go figure.
Sorry, guys. He's still salty about the Dropout.
It is pretty problematic in almost every sense of the word. I
don't disagree with that. Like, I understand.
I'm not saying,
it's just like I'm looking at it as like a movie and like the character. But yeah, like I totally like. Obviously, like I get that.
I don't know, folks. She likes the song "Savages."
And I explain why. Not here in another podcast.
It's jokes.
Not on air.
I do like the character of Pocahontas. I found her to be actually admirable in what she does and what she stands for. And there was a semblance of an idea behind the movie that unfortunately was just completely cock-blocked by its need to both sides the situation. Again, it's the Disney version, and I understand, of course, Disney would do this, but it's just like the older it gets, the uglier it just becomes as far as like the message behind the movie. Although, again, if we're just going to remove all of this, you know, and you're watching it as a kid, it's not very interesting, except for, I guess, I do love Just Around the River Bend and Colors of the Wind, and I do think the animation is stunning, and I do like Pocahontas, and it's not Brave.
Damn.
So, I mean, I would watch Pocahontas over Brave 10 times out of 11. There's like just some interesting things going on there. It's just, unfortunately, it was just trying to do too much, and it was just unfortunate, the end result. But there is part of me that just feels bad for this movie, because I'm sure there were people that were trying to make this something special, and it was, again, just a misfire, a mistake, and unfortunate. It really, I'm sorry. Number 13 is Frozen. It's good.
Quite the chilly reception this movie is getting.
It's good. I'm not actually.
I gave it the best one. I'm
actually not burnt out on the music of the first movie. If anything, the sequel made this just worse, in my opinion. So I'll leave it at that. I do like Anna and Elsa. I do like Olaf. The songs were good. I did like it when it came out, but watching it again, it didn't nearly. I wasn't nearly as interested in it as everything else on this list. And that includes number 12, Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, Aurora is just about the weakest character maybe I've ever seen in a movie. Just because by the nature of how they like, she's a plot device.
I
like
thought
the main
that
character.
one was gonna be your last one.
Well, the reason why I do like the film is because of everything else around Aurora. I do like the three fairies. Like they're, I asked you like this, like yeah, they're the main characters of this movie. Like they should have been renamed the Three Fairies and Sleeping Beauty.
Maybe it's named Sleeping Beauty because.
Well, we know why.
And like it's not
story.
called Aurora, like how
right.
Snow White and Cinderella. I don't know. Hey.
I do like the fairies. I do like Maleficent. She's a great villain, and the animation for such a long time and still to this day has held up remarkably well. It is just stunning to look at, no doubt. I don't know how it is. Maybe I would like this better if it was renamed the Three Fairies, but this Aurora is just a nothing character. 11. Who do I have? Snow White and the Seven Dwarves.
Wow. Okay.
All the things that were said. It is a work of art. It is historic. It's just, it doesn't, I think, to me, hold up for repeat viewings. I find myself just getting antsy and bored, quite frankly, watching this. This is one of the ones that I don't think holds up with repeat viewings, although of course the appreciation for this movie will always be there. Yeah, and at number 10, I added this just because Alexis did and reminded me how much I loved it. It was Enchanted. I was so excited when I heard that Giselle might have actually, been coronated as an official Disney princess. I really loved that character, and honestly, that film was a blast because of how much of a surprise it was. Like, I was walking in thinking, oh God, how bad is this going to be? And fortunately for me, the party that I went to go see this with loved this, so I didn't have that kind of negative reaction that Alexis had with her family. But it's just, to me, and again, this is
also to add on to that, same cut with you, Alexis. Me and my mom, when we went to go see this, we were eating that shit up.
I mean, I love it. I don't know what it is about it, but it's like everything about it just works for me as far as the characters, the musical numbers, just the crazy zaniness of it. Like it, We should do a commentary on this movie because I have a soft spot for this.
You know what?
I always have.
You know what? I'm all for it. I want to schedule one with you guys because, like, honestly, like I've been hankering this movie for a little while.
Oh, but it's not on Disney Plus.
But it's not on Disney Plus, and it drives me freaking insane. But yeah, I want to revisit this movie.
And of course, it was my introduction to Amy Adams, and I love her as an actor. She's
same. Amy Adams is she's America's sweetheart at this point, right? Safe to say. She's just amazing. I like the way that she put this spin on a Disney princess with the whole naive nature of it, but then kind of growing into her own and like accepting reality. I like that character arc that she goes through, and it's just
like this movie is kind of the reasons why I was like I was so like really interested in like at least the first few seasons of Once Upon a Time was because of Enchanted. It was kind of the precursor to that. So just seeing these like classic Disney characters like interact and everything, and in these like live action setting, I think Enchanted was for sure the precursor to that. So
okay,
yeah,
all right.
Number 9. This might be controversial. Aladdin. Yeah, I think for all the reasons that people have said and more, I do think Aladdin may be a better film than a lot of the ones I'm about to name. But as far as it's just weird calling this a Disney princess movie. It's an action adventure film, and it's just
it just so happens to have a Disney princess in it.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Number 8. Get ready to throw up, Peter. I'll wait for the sound effect. Frozen 2.
I'm so disgusted. Oh God.
So Kyle had it at 11. Alexis had it at 6, and I have it at 8. It seems to me that majority rules, right? So
and I had it dead last. You forgot to mention.
Oh, because I don't mention losers.
Dead last.
Anyway, Frozen 2
15
was
dead last.
To me, go listen to the audio commentary, but I love all of the music. I love what it did with the characters. Peter is so wrong.
I'm 100% right.
You never
and
are.
I know I'm right because that's why I wasn't part of that audio commentary.
You're not part of any of the audio commentaries. Nobody likes you.
Specifically that one.
Number 7. Oh, Kyle, you were the one that... Why didn't you invite Peter? Tell him. For Frozen 2. Because he seems to be, asking why he wasn't invited to Frozen 2.
Because I didn't want anybody to tamper my mood, boy.
Okay, great. The death of hope lives. Long live the death of hope.
That just proves my
Long
point.
live the death of hope.
That just proves my point.
Shut up. Number 7. Mulan. She's great. The movie is really good too. I forget how funny it is. It's just... I think this one just suffers because there are better films, I think, for me.
You just hate Asians. Just say it.
Well, I mean, we all know Peter's long history with being racist, but I mean, I don't know about myself.
Mulan was my number 1 film.
Exactly. Number 6. I have Cinderella. Cinderella was... This is one of the ones where I would watch a long time ago, and I would kind of fall asleep. But in recent viewings of it, it's actually, I think, the best as far as the original 3 classics, and I think as far as a character is concerned, she gets the most as far as like a fully realized character. And there's just something I know that we all admire Mulan because she is a heroine, but like, holy fuck, it has to take, a really special person and honestly the kindest of hearts to willingly be a slave for these horrible human beings and to find some bit of sympathy for them, even though how much they treat her like trash. It's almost how I treat Peter.
Well, everyone.
No, I mean, because you're Lydia Tremaine, you're the pit of all evil, and some parts of our hearts actually like you here. But of course, I'm kidding though.
Sure.
Yeah, but there is a strength to her that is subtle and not, I think, appreciated enough to go through all that. And she is very likable because of the horrendous situations that she gets placed in, to where I think, if anything, she is the most rootable person, I feel, maybe of all of the princesses.
But no, she could just walk out, you see. She could
Apparently.
Yep. No, I agree with what you just said. Like, yeah, she's very admirable. It's just me as a person, I would not be able to handle that. I totally would have walked out. But yeah.
Anyway,
what's funny with that film is, like, the whole point was she was just supposed to go for her dad. During the "I'll Make a Man Out of You" song, like, he sends her home, so she would have been in the clear basically if she would have went home after that. But she didn't, which I thought was interesting. I'm just throwing it out there.
we're talking about Cinderella.
I know.
Okay. I don't know what kind of joke you're pulling.
Your face when I said that was the joke to me. That's the extent of it. Okay, continue.
Number 5 is Rapunzel, Tangled. One of the things I said to Alexis about the characters in this movie is just how lifelike they are, and a lot of the really important pivotal scenes between Flynn Rider and Rapunzel are actually pretty, stocked with emotion. And the sequence "I See the Light" is, I think it rivals some of the best work that Disney has ever produced. I really do think it does. And, for years, I kind of really didn't understand the popularity of this movie. Only because I initially preferred Frozen to it. But I don't know, as the years have gone by, there's just so much more, I feel, substance to the struggles, to the characterization of the characters in Tangled than there is to Frozen, ironically enough. And it almost kind of stings, because Tangled might have, or should have even been, the movie to have, gotten that kind of attention, it feels like. But yeah, the voice acting is great, and all of the side characters. I think this actually has one of the best side characters as far as the Disney princess movies are concerned. So there's that. At number 4 is Moana. It's great. She's great. The water's beautiful. The animation is stunning. It's honestly some of the most jaw-dropping animation I've ever seen. It's, a great capper to the career of John Musker and Ron Clements. I mean, I don't know what else I can say. I really don't.
Except you're welcome.
Are you okay, Peter?
I'm at a pun limit right now.
I mean, it's.
Isn't quarantine great, guys?
Number 3 is The Princess and the Frog.
Wow, why not number 1?
This is. It's interesting, right? Because a lot of these newer ones are higher on the list. There's just something that screams classic, or maybe just class, when it comes to every aspect about the film, from Tiana to all of the side characters, of course. Just the way that it's animated, and it's almost as if it was meant to be that it was the last 2D Disney princess movie, also maybe the last one of the final anyway, Disney movies in general to be in 2D. The music is,
or like one of the last like big traditionally animated movies.
It was the last one.
No, but lest you forget, my friend, Winnie the Pooh came out in 2011.
Oh, that's right. It's because they called it Winnie the Pooh. They didn't even call it anything different.
and what's worse yet, Winnie the Pooh bombed even harder than Princess and the Frog. So that was like the
final nail in the coffin
coffin.
for that kind of I guess format.
But I mean, when has Winnie the Pooh ever been like a big box office draw?
Never.
Yeah, that's a
It's
weird
mainly
one that
just,
they
like,
chose to go back to.
Merchandise, I feel, is like
Yeah, like people like
it's like Muppets, I think.
Pooh. Yeah, like we know what the fucking frog is, but no one wants to see the frog in a film. Apparently. Oh yeah.
I agree to that.
Ouch. Ow.
I mean, it's not me. It's what box office has dictated. I don't know what to tell you. I love Muppet Treasure Island.
I love the new Muppet movies that came out, and
I
yet
think
they're
I never saw the sequel. I only saw the first one once.
Not even the Muppet movie. Have you seen the Muppet movie?
Like the old Muppet movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one. But because the new one is called the Muppet movie too.
No, it's just called the Muppets.
Oh, that's right. It's just called the Muppet. Sorry. But no, yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay.
At number 2 is Beauty and the Beast. It's the tale as old as time. Sorry to use that pun. I don't know what else to say.
It's not
it
a
is.
pun. And I would know. But continue.
I'm sorry to use that cliche of, tale as old as time, but, it is, I think, one of the best Disney films. I mean, I think it is one of the films that people would think of as being the best Disney movie. Because it just, what a trailblazer it was in terms of the arena of cinema. It's honestly a perfect film. I as well as the number 1, which is A Little Mermaid, for all the reasons from the audio commentary and more. The best soundtrack, the best characters. It's honestly,
except for one,
the best Disney movie in this bunch. It's one that never gets old and one that I watch again and again and again. Yeah. Okay, we're done.
Okay. Any other thoughts on your list, Alexis?
Oh, just real quick. So it was Brave.
It was
15 was Brave. 14 was unless you want to say it.
Oh, it was 15 Brave, 14 Pocahontas, number 13 Frozen, number 12 Sleeping Beauty, number 11 Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, number 10 Enchanted, number 9 Aladdin, number 8 Frozen 2, number 7 there we go. Number 7, Mulan. Number 6, Cinderella. Number 5, Tangled. Number 4, Moana. Number 3, Princess and the Frog. Number 2, Beauty and the Beast. And then number 1, The Little Mermaid.
I just looked at everybody's top 3, and almost everyone either has a combination. The 3 most recurring films in everyone's top 3 was The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and The Princess and the Frog.
A lot of love for Princess and the Frog over here.
Yeah, I agree.
Kyle's the only one that didn't put it in the top 3. Little Mermaid, I mean. I wonder why.
It's because she had
And
the
Peter's the only
audacity to
one that
love.
didn't put Princess and the Frog in the top 3.
I know, isn't that a surprise?
Because I had to put Mulan, and y'all are Mulan haters, so I'm happy to rep Mulan.
And the bottom.
Anyway, but
my final thoughts are: it's interesting. The bottom, everyone's bottom is different for sure. Well, actually, yeah, everyone has a different bottom one. Frozen 2, Brave, Snow White, and Pocahontas.
That Snow White one, oh my god. Oh,
that was a doozy.
That hurts.
That was a real doozy. That threw us for a spin right there. Um.
Walt Disney he just felt a icy chill in the grave right now.
Well, his
mostly
favorite was
his head.
like Cinderella, so.
Mostly because his head is frozen somewhere.
That's true. He's still frozen somewhere.
Frozen under the partner statue. But that's a topic for another day. Yeah. With Cinderella, it was really interesting. Sidestepping a little bit. With Walt, he felt like he related to Cinderella the most out of all his characters.
I think, yeah,
Cinderella,
because he was
at that time she was the best character.
Well, yeah, but I think there's actually because he was worked like a fucking pack mule from his father. He had to go out and get newspapers every day. Like, they were treated horribly by his damn dad. They were worked as fucking child laborers. I wonder why he would identify with Cinderella, who was basically enslaved by her family. Yeah, it makes sense.
But
justice for Cinderella.
Justice for Cinderella. Let's start that
She got justice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she moved out of the damn house. Finally. So, yeah, that was our ranking list. What did you think? If you liked it, check out our other stuff that we have. All on our other platforms. You could check us out everywhere you listen to podcasts. Yes, Alexis.
We would be remiss if we didn't plug. There are some commentaries on some of these movies coming, including The Princess and the Frog with Peter Martinez. Is he even there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I was deemed to have an acceptable view of that film.
You know what? It's actually been canceled. Forget about it. Continue with your closing intro.
So, without further ado, I'm your host, Kyle Lira. With me is Alexys Moreno, Alexis Soto, and Peter Martinez. As always, stay magical, everyone.